right, so what do you think we learned today? So third gear, how many RPM?
Let's see if it pulls to 7. It should.
Okay.
It totally changed. So if it should pull to 7, no problem.
So what was it? Okay. 200,
220 and 186.
220, 186.
220, 186? You didn't even take it all the way up.
20?
220.
I know. That means it went up 20.
Really?
It was 199 last time.
20 horsepower?
Warming everything up. Warming the dyno roller bearings, everything. Here we go.
Give me a thumbs up when you're going to hit it. I saw 74, but now what do you push?
That one right there says
225 and 191. 225, 191.
Why is that RPM number different than what you
From here to there?
Yeah.
Could his tack or whatever. All right, so what's happening here?
Well, my humble mechanic over there, Steven, picked up the manifold that we brought to test, the second one. He goes, hey, is this not supposed to be welded? And he noticed 2 chunks of shit. Well, then I thought about it. I had a lower manifold bolted on here, and I couldn't weld there when everything was bolted because I wanted to keep it all stiff and locked in, right? Well, I unbolted it, took it all apart, went to the
Here
house
it
to
is.
feed the kids, and 3 days later, it ain't welded.
All right,
And got here.
so we found a welder.
Found a welder in this pile of stuff. And I'm gonna find a hood. Whatever, I'll figure it all out.
You want to grind that?
Yep. No, I don't like grinding. Pliers.
Wire brush?
Pliers.
Pliers.
Any needle nose of any sort?
Will this work?
Yeah. Let's circumcise that bad boy. Our explosion. Eyeball, sorry. I thought I saw another pinhole earlier. Eyes. Okay. just tested has 3.5-inch velocity stacks inside
Don't forget to swap the O-rings, boss.
on the opposite cylinders. So equal length airflow, and the front one is blocking the path, and not everybody, but your first initial thought is, well, that's stupid. That's
Well,
not
and then
gonna
how
work.
close this is.
Right. Where's the air going to go?
Oh.
It's blocking. It's not going to make power. Right?
Yeah.
That's what your head says. And then this one's actually going straight up. This one I twisted a tad bit. And then this one I twisted a lot of it to help give it a chance to get some air in the last runners.
I had a flashlight, but
And then inside, there's actually a baffle inside. That one's on the outside, how I tapered the end.
oh yeah,
I did it internally on this one.
for looks.
I just didn't realize what was happening, and then when I got to that and didn't have to deal with velocity stacks, I could give that a little bit more.
All right, so they got the manifold swap. Now we're going to go ahead and do 2 more dyno pulls to check the equal length internal versus the not equal length. I don't really know the names of them, but it's just a back-to-back test. So we'll make 2 more dyno pulls and see what happens. All right, so on the warm-up, found out that the radiator is hitting right there. So I had to take off the front end in order to make it work. Now we're gonna make some pulls. So 219, 178. Okay. So after much debate and some hard work on the car, we have sort of figured out that there was a bad connection or something on the coil. That's why it's down like 10-15 horsepower. So we're gonna warm it up again and try for another pull. Hit the stop test. Hey, were you in 3rd gear or 4th gear? Third. Did you see 8,000?
I never got to 120 before, and I was at 120.
Yeah, you weren't in the right. Wrong gear.
It was pulling 3 degrees up at the top end of it.
Well, he was in 5th, so
That was all fifth.
Yeah,
I was like, this is a Dyno running by car?
I know.
That was definitely fifth.
Okay, let's do it again. 2, 3.
survey says
230.
No way.
Yeah.
You're full of shit.
230 and 193 torque.
What?
Yeah, cylinder 3 and 5 both hold a little timing, but
We didn't get the torque because we didn't put in the calculator. Not bad for a clapped out piece of shit. $227, 190.
So within 2 horsepower.
Right, we're just going down and down and down just based on heat soak or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Did our job.
yeah, sounds way better.
Yeah.
Just need to make it fit.
Oh, we'll get there. No problem. Got it handled.
All right, so what do you think we learned today?
What do we learn?
check your meat before cooking it because it could still be frozen.
Short runners
Make more horsepower.
make more power on NA motors.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have always, you lose torque, it's not worth doing. We totally blew that out of the water.
Right. So
Which-
we can show here on
A
the
lot of people have
dyno.
always known that.
We can show here on the screen. Okay, so this is stock. The red line is completely stock. And the green line was the final run, which is something like about 227, 228 horsepower. So we started off on this car, stock, and have gained, let's pick a reasonable number here, 175, which is what they're rated at, stock, yeah?
At the crank, not the wheels.
So somehow this lies, but that's all right. So 175 at 5,800.
That had a chip and stuff on the stock run.
Okay, that's
It
chipped.
did have a chip.
Okay.
Chip, intake, exhaust.
So then we go
Normal mods.
here, and this is something like 210-ish, if I'm looking at this bump here. So that's 30 horsepower difference here. Now if we carry this out a little bit,
That was at 5,800.
yeah, I mean now we're making power at, I won't even go over there, 227, 228 at 6,800.
And if you pull the new graph, then you'll be able to pull those numbers.
Right. So when we look at, now we'll make this baseline, which would be the first decent run today. here. Got to balance this out. So this is 2 intakes back to back, basically.
Yep.
So the red line being the intake manifold that's where?
Right over there.
Here. So this intake, the theory is, so this intake has bell mouth runners inside of it for the short runners on the intake. And the intake that's on there now, which is under the hood, doesn't have that.
Correct.
So basically, we're within a few numbers on torque. So the green would be the other manifold, or the manifold that's on there now, and red would be this manifold.
This manifold in my hands.
So dollar for dollar, this takes twice as much work to build, and on a NA stock motor, it swaps torque a little bit within a couple numbers, but it carries the RPM out farther.
And this makes 5 horsepower less.
5 horsepower less. On the high end run for this, we made for this one that's on here now, we made 230. For this one, the top we made was 225. But we had a couple different variables on temperature and time and stuff like that. But overall,
Bang for the buck.
bang for the buck for you and for everybody else is that the manifold without the runners in it is better in this application
Which is actually going to be a cheaper, better option
for everyone.
for everyone.
Turbo.
Fabricator, builder,
Customer.
turbo across the board, and price.
Right. So we're not super duper, it's not super duper scientific, but it's at least close that we figured out that the best intake to run is the one that's on there now. It did make the more horsepower throughout the day. We played a little bit with the dyno calibrations to make it, to try and find why it wasn't crossing at 5250, which is what the internet always complains about. But really what the reason for that was is we didn't have the numbers on the graph set up correctly. So basically,
Close on this one.
yeah, it is, because this is why. The reason why on some of the other pictures it's not crossing at 5250 is because the dyno automatically puts in a number that makes the graph look better.
Got it.
So
And
if
it's
we
not
make
the
this
same
230,
number.
230, it moves it to 5250.
Oh, duh.
So we,
Okay.
but we messed around with the dyno and we made a run that didn't record. I recorded it on video at 230,
Got it.
whatever. So it's definitely on video that we made 230 with that horsepower with this car.
Okay.
And that was with a 15-minute cool down time. I mean,
Right.
at the most.
Okay.
So in order to really, break that down, we'd have to get on the screen and show run by run by run. But basically, from a stock motor, it made something like 175, and now we're added cams and a short runner intake. Now it makes 230 horsepower, which is crazy because my car, which is the most you can ever build one of these, made 235 at the tire. So guess what I'm getting next? Short runner intake.
Thanks for your help today, pal.
Yeah, man, that's good times. You know, we've been here. Dyno sessions here take 8 hours. It's dark now. I got here at 10 a.m. It's like 5 p.m. We ate some good food, had some good times. So look out for some more dyno sessions to come. So say thanks to Nubs and Aaron Crosley and the whole team here.
A lot of help today.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
So catch y'all later.